The organisation was founded by Lawrence Anthony when he returned from his rescue of the Baghdad Zoo. And in doing that rescue, he realised that there was a lot of shortcomings in the world of conservation. And he identified for himself what he thought was the root issue, and it was education. And Lawrence was a philanthropist and a conservationist and a great many things. But he quickly realised that this planet is in trouble, and he felt that he wanted to make a difference.
When I was a kid, when I was 10 years old, I could see that the relationship between mankind and the plant and animal kingdoms was not right. I could see that at 10, maybe younger. It was just not right. I could see people were just not aware to what was going on, a lot of people. The problem, though, if you look at the statistics, especially on species depletion, desertification, these sort of things, despite all of that, the statistics are still going down steadily and strongly down.
Lawrence's response to these challenges was to establish the Earth Organization, in which his legacy lives on. Over the years, it's gone from strength to strength, with chapters in Africa, Europe, the USA, and India, amongst others, with each chapter focusing on environmental projects and issues specific to the region. Earth Organization headquarters are in KwaZulu-Natal, South Africa. Here, the emphasis is on community conservation initiatives and securing land to create more wild spaces.
One of the biggest projects we've engaged in over the last couple of years is the conservation of rhino. It is a very pressing issue in South Africa. It started off actually with getting more money for helicopter surveillance in Zululand, and it then developed into the creation of a Rhino Orphanage. With all the poaching of rhino, it quickly became apparent that there would be a lot of orphaned animals, as generally the mothers are shot and the babies don't always get killed. And with the numbers declining, every rhino has become important.
Africa faces many environmental challenges, and the African chapters in Uganda, Ghana, and Nigeria focus heavily on education. The Indian chapter tackles education in a very hands-on, practical way.
You know, they have a little tuk-tuk with their trees in the back, their little seedlings, and then they go from person to person. They educate them individually, they get them to plant trees.
The US chapter is pushing for changes to the law with regards to the remediation of water, specifically after the BP oil blowout in the Mexican Gulf.
Most people don't know that there are natural products available to break down oil, and there's this enzyme that actually eats the oil, and when it's gone, it disappears back into nature. So nature already has self-healing properties.
In France, the Earth Organization promotes the planting of trees, as well as rescuing huge numbers of frogs that are decimated by traffic every breeding season. From frogs to zoo animals in the Ukraine, and another Earth Organization project that has captured the world's attention.
In early 2014, we discovered that the zoos in the Ukraine were in dire distress. The president had run off with all the money in the country, and the zoos had no funding whatsoever to feed animals. And a man called Lionel contacted me from there, and he was willing to stand up and take charge. And so what we did is we raised a lot of funding to feed and treat the animals in that interim period while the war was raging around them. But at the same time, the conditions in Ukrainian zoos are absolutely shocking. So we decided to do something about it, and we have started increasing the size of the enclosures that these animals are in, so that they can go outside, that they can feel the sun, that they can stand on the earth. And that is quite a long-term project because it's really a very misunderstood subject in Ukraine.
The Lawrence Anthony Earth Organization is about changing our perception of nature and encouraging a more sustainable way of living. With such diverse issues facing every part of our planet, time is running out, and creating awareness of these issues is key.
And I think the more people that are aware of it and know what they can do to make a difference, the easier that fight becomes.
You know, I do believe that conservation needs new direction and new leadership. We have to change something, because there are thousands of organizations out there, millions of people interested. The problem is there are billions who don't care and don't understand and don't want to understand. We have to reach them with education. The future of the planet rests on that, I'll tell you. Yeah. No question.